whole premise of seeing where you are on the map. Whose claim are you in? Whose claims are around you? And seeing what claims you have. The cool thing I would like to show is the F map. So if you type /F map or /crew map, you get to see like chunks around you and which faction owns those chunks. And when you move around, the map can update. See? So the main things I was looking for a factions plugin was, one, it has to be free, and I want the option to have TNT and griefing disabled in certain faction claim chunks. However, have PvP enabled in those chunks. And I also wanted the ability to alias /faction with /crew, because this is a One Piece server after all. So I'm going to take a quick second to explain the F power system. So each player has a maximum power they can get. In our case, we're going to have a maximum of 20 power. And for every power you have, that represents a chunk that you can claim. So if you have 15 power, you can claim 15 chunks. The power of the faction is the combined power of all the players. And a chunk can be overclaimed by another faction if the faction has less power than chunks claimed. So if a faction has 20 chunks claimed and they actually have 19 power, some other faction can come over and overclaim one of their chunks. If you die, you're going to lose some power. And being online slowly increases your power up to 20. And now we're going to discuss the bounty system. So this is the current system I've cooked up. If a pirate kills someone, they will earn their bounty, but it's not exactly redeemed yet. The player must take their head to the bounty building at the center of the map in order to earn the reward. Let's say I kill someone with 1500 bounty. That means my earned money is going to be 1500 bounty. So if I have the player head of that person, and then I go over here, the bounty entrance, I get paid. Kind of janky the way it does it, but it does pay me more or less. So that's kind of how it's set up right now. Some issues with the system. The head itself is inherently worthless, and selling the head on the auction house, for example, is no good. Only the person who got the kill can redeem the bounty, and that bounty amount is added to your bank balance. On top of this, your own bounty will also increase. So it'll increase by 1/4 times whatever the person you killed's bounty was. For example, if you have a bounty of 1,000,000 berries and you kill someone with a bounty of 1,000,000 berries, your new bounty is 1.25 million berries. And of course, when you die, you're basically resetting, so your bounty goes down to 0. And I used a bunch of scoreboards to set this all up, basically. The logic for combining bounties, like scoreboard, players, operation, say jumbo slime, for example, bounties plus equals, and then you could do another player, say Lego Man, bounties, and I have a separate scoreboard for what a quarter of their bounty is. So it's constantly being updated in accordance to what their actual bounty is. So 1/4 of their bounty gets added to your bounty. I also want to give an honorable mention to a plugin that I tested out. It's called Not Bounties. So this is a plugin where players can pool money onto the head of other players. So they basically crowdsource the bounty of other players. But we're not going to use this plugin for the bounties themselves. We have our own system going on. However, I'd still like to try to implement this somehow because they have wanted posters, as you can see here. Obviously, wanted posters are extremely cool and I would love to get them onto the server eventually, but it is going to take some time for me to figure out how to combine the plugin with the bounty system I already have set up via the data pack. So stay tuned for that. That could happen in the near future. So with that being said, we can check off another item on our MVP list. So what comes with the bounties is the all-time bounty tracking. So this is how we're going to track who is the king of the pirates. So inherently those numbers are within its own vanilla scoreboard, but I wanted a command to display it to any user that wants to see it. So I downloaded my command plugin and I registered /all-time bounties. And doing that command will show you the list of the top 10 highest all-time bounties. And this top 10 list is sorted with a plugin called AJ's Leaderboards. So after that, I decided I wanted a hologram in the spawn displaying the top 10 bounties. And I tried doing it with command blocks and it's very hard. So I ended up landing on the plugin Decent Holograms. So that plugin really meshes well with AJ's Leaderboards. And it uses Placeholder API to grab all the data. And Placeholder API is going to be a really useful plugin for pretty much everything on this server. So with that, we can check off all-time bounty tracking from the MVP. I realize first-time players may be confused, and not everyone who joins have seen the devlog series or knows the rules of the server. So I made a guidebook that they receive when they spawn in. And I made this guidebook with a Minecraft book generator I found online. So right when you spawn into the world, you do get this guidebook to look at. And also when you spawn in as a pirate, you get the guidebook again. And you could just read through it. Welcome to Grand Line MC. And it basically says all the rules, all the how to play, all the limitations, and how to start a faction. Everything basically you need to know. And since the server got more and more plugins and got more beefier, I decided to upgrade the amount of RAM I have, so I switched to a new server provider, and that is called SparkToast. And I like SparkToast because they have a lot of options. They're denoted by their own planets, and there's many options for various combinations of amount of RAM and amount of storage and compute power. And the customer service has been absolutely phenomenal for me so far. With that being said, I do have a referral link for anybody who wants to use SparkToast, and you guys can get a discount when you use my link. So that will be in the description. And of course, this goes towards funding the One Piece server. The next thing I added was server monetization, and the go-to method for this is using Tebex. And so Tebex sets up basically a store for you online, and there's also an in-game plugin that's linked to that store. So /buy will take you to the menu to donate to the server. Okay, so this is the Tebex page for the server. This is what it looks like right now. We have our little donation goal here, our little description, our little banner, our logo. If we go to packages, that's like the only button I have right now. You can see all the packages. And we do need donations. I don't have a choice in this matter. We do need donations because this server costs money to run. So there's an overhead each month that I have to pay to keep the server up. So donating will help keep the server alive. So some of the initial packages I came up with were just bounty boosts. So basically you can donate and then you're gonna get your bounty increased. Of course, that's going to make you a bigger target, but you also get some extra prestige. Of course, I don't know if these packages are going to be permanent, and I would like some other ideas for some other packages. So maybe a new devil fruit that you can introduce or something else. I would like some ideas. So if you guys have any ideas for like some donation perks, please drop them in the comments. Of course, if you can't donate, but you still want to support the server, feel free to just like the video to boost it in the algorithm. And so maybe someone else can donate. So that checks off server monetization off our MVP list. And this is a more fleshed out look of the MVP list and the solutions that I've come up with for each one. And I also checked off anti-cheat, so I got a plugin called Grim Anti-Cheat. Hopefully that can do some good. And for the banking/shop, I used Essentials X, Vault, and Economy Shop GUI Premium, which I had to pay for in order for it to work with NBT items like the pirate ship. Just a reminder, we also have the hockey system up and running. So for offense, attack potency, I'm using just data pack logic because that can be done with straight vanilla commands. And for the defensive capabilities of hockey, I needed to get Aura Skills, the plugin, for that to work. So I have data pack logic that adjusts how strong you are and how durable you are based on the hockey level you have. So the next thing I needed to figure out was how to ban craftable items. So turns out I could use /recipe for this, and when you spawn into the world, you can no longer craft pistons, sticky pistons, slime blocks, honey blocks, and TNT. You have to buy those from the shop. And in terms of banning Minecraft features in general, I turned off the Nether and the End, and I also turned off Phantoms. On top of this, I made it so right-clicking beds does not change your spawn point, and this also applies to respawn anchors. So if you die, you're always going to respawn back at the spawn area. So with that, we can check off banning items from the MVP list. Another really easy devil fruit idea I can come up with is the cat fruit model leopard, and this is Rob Lucci's devil fruit. So I guess it has super simple mechanics. So I guess for the main ability, we can do a speed and strength boost for 10-15 seconds. And the secondary ability, we can give him a jump boost. So just generic boosts, not anything crazy. Could also add some yellow particles. This is like the simplest version of the devil fruit powers that we're going to be rolling with for now. So this is the demonstration of the cat fruit model leopard. So we have our little glowing chest boats where the devil fruits come out of. And we have the lore. So we don't have a passive ability right now. We have speed and strength boost as our main, and our secondary is a jump boost. So if I were to So now when I eat this, I now am tagged with the cat leopard fruit. And now I have this main and secondary abilities. So this gives me speed and strength boost. And then this one gives me jump boost. You right click. So the devil fruits spawn in chest boats that are glowing, and they spawn in random location. So you open the chest and you get your devil fruit, and then you eat the devil fruit. If I was in survival mode, it would consume it. So let's just pretend I consumed it. Of course, you have your abilities now. Let's say you die with the devil fruit powers. You are going to respawn, and boat is going to come spawning back in. There you go. The boat comes spawning back in into the world after you die, and we can find it right here, and it has the same devil fruit. So that's pretty much how it works. I'm gonna go ahead and buy a pacifista. So let's see what the pacifista does. So this is basically an iron golem retextured, and if I go into if I get a little further away, go into survival mode, it'll start coming after me instantly, and then it's hard to outrun. So this thing is auto aggro towards all pirates instantly, and you don't even have to touch it. It can detect you from like 100 blocks away, and it has super speed and super strength, and it has 1000 HP. So good luck trying to kill it. But if you do manage to kill this guy, you will be rewarded with some extra hockey, which will make you stronger. And you may notice at the bounty house there is a bunch of spawners here, and hello. Have you ever seen anybody as late as me? Pretty late to the party, but we still are going to party. It's gonna be a chill party today, and we're going to work on some devil fruits. Oh, another set of poor horsemen just spawned in. I don't know what causes it, but maybe spawning in randomly, I guess. We have our sea ogre chilling right here. He's ready he's ready to fight someone. So get some hockey if you kill him. Anyways, we're gonna go. Literally, I basically haven't really done much since the last stream. I've been doing like texture debugging for geyser compatibility. Not much. Custom model debugging, of course. We're gonna go over. Oh, there's another sea ogre. Oh, who could have guessed? Where's the other sea ogre at? Where is it? Huh. Oh, he's here, right here. Oh my god, who is this guy? Skeletal Knight. Well, I almost got scared for a second because I thought it was some fella, but I guess there's a random skeleton right there. Thought I was a player. Didn't think I had players online. You're welcome to join and see what's up. Home. Center of world. We're gonna go to the center of the world. This is the Logtown area. And I cooked all of the trees. My fault. This is our little sphere for the op fruit. Let's see if we can get our brain activated tonight. And, you know, do some problem solving with this. Because we do have to solve some problems. It's very possible. So we got it this far. So what, let me see what I have. I don't have, okay. Alright, so now I have the op root. This is how you make it really big. I'm not sure if I'm gonna retexture this just yet. I for sure want to get the whole thing working. The texture's already like the mapping for the texture is already there, so even if I ship this, I could always update that later. Hopefully I'm entertaining, but this is supposed to be a pretty chill, because I'm pretty chill mood right now. Yeah, I should probably post it. Hopefully I'm entertaining, but this is supposed to be a pretty chill, because I'm pretty chill mood right now. Yeah, I should probably post it. Oh, got a text message. Maybe that was a subscriber. I don't know. I can't see. I think the chat just got, the Streamlabs just got updated. That's probably what it was. Yeah, so okay. So I know this exponential thing is not going to work. We need some sort of linear progression. Because the thing where it runs every 10 seconds. Either...
So we have something running in the every second folder. Every second. There we go. Well, I think the first thing to figure out is to detect, because interpolation might be the go-to way, because this is very smooth. Obviously, I don't know how this looks on Bedrock. That would be a good thing to look up. Let me look that up. I should probably test this. Okay, so what would be the second best option? We would do it full scoreboards and full ticks instead of interpolation. But I'm just gonna want to like look how it looks. So there is two things I need to do, which is unfortunate. I have to mappings. Yeah, I'm gonna have to open I'm gonna have to open Rainbow. Well, there's three things I need to do actually. I need to make this work on 26.2 and then port it over to Bedrock and then look at it. Actually, I don't need to do that at all. I don't have to do any of that. Actually, I can just TP myself. It's going to look like a stick, and if it becomes big, then we have our answer. If it's smooth, we have our answer. If it's not smooth, then we also have our answer. We don't need to port the textures over or the models. The stick is gonna tell us. Just a stick. We don't need the item. The stick is the base item that we're using for these random, one-off models. I think that's the one I'm using for Grand Line MC. or most of them. There's also the white dye is for animated Java models, and the horse armor is for whoa, would you look at that? I didn't know that was a thing. So it seems to be client dependent. If it's on the client side, we might be in trouble and might need to actually rethink this. So what I'm gonna do is join. Like, it's always worth a try. You never know. I mean, yesterday I just got something that looked like it works, but in all honesty, this also poses an issue because I wasn't able to grab the radius data of this. It's just visually expanding on my screen. Like, I would need the radius data to determine whether or not you're actually in the sphere or in the room. So yeah, that would, and you could, I mean, I was thinking I could do an estimate of the radius data based on, you know, how many seconds have elapsed after the last, you know, just a bunch of adding of scoreboards, and use a estimation, like a proxy. Why can't F bypass do deep TPR wherever the heck I want, bruh? So we have our warlord here. I don't see a damn thing. I don't even see the stick. I do have the item says summon. Huh. I should see something. Right? I have the item to display extension on. Let's summon, let's generate one. And we should know. Item display test. Okay, there should literally be a stick under me, and just not. That's crazy. Well, how do I see other item displays? For example, how do I see the Oh, we're at GLMC. Oh wait, we have one piece. One piece. Custom mobs. Okay. Well, a little too late there. Gotta respawn. Let's try this again. Marine Vice Captain. And we have the Marine Vice Captain. Bro, where? Okay. There's a chance. Okay, there's a chance I might need to restart the server because there's a chance I literally don't have the extension on. Because if I did, this thing would be showing. So that's probably what I need to do as soon as possible. Oh no. It's on. The extension's on and I don't see it. Geyser entity display. Guess we gotta download the latest version. Apparently this does not work. Oh my god. Something's wrong. Oh wait. What it could be is the packs. Pack.zip. There we go. There it is. We're good. Now if we rejoin, we should be able to see it after. If not, we need to restart. Yeah, I see something. There should be a stick right above here, but there's not. There's not a stick. Unless we summon something that's mapped. Like a pumpkin pie. Now if we look, oh, that's not good. I don't even see the mapped one. There's a stick. There's a stick right behind. Oh. So that's mapped. This thing is not mapped for some damn reason. So I can see this. I can see this stick. This guy can see, Butterbox can see this stick. Sees it as a stick. So let's try the interpolation. Oh. It is definitely tripping in one way or another. It just vanishes and then it stays. Slash data modify entity P nearest room I wonder if this is in the history. Transformation. Scale. Oh, I better not be having a... Here goes nothing. Something's changing it. Could have like roughly a second of that's good. So whatever it is, it's gonna get bigger. Okay, so I need to use scoreboards. Okay. So I use scale for an item stand, armor stand. And I use data for your item frame. Item display. So scared the crap out of me. There we go. Now it doesn't go below 0. I guess we can still keep interpolation maybe for Java clients. I just want to see what looks cleanest. We would need some way to get a scoreboard value from a data value. Which, are we doing extra steps? Perhaps. Not append. Insert. Nah. Gotta get something big.
Is essentially you are feeding it some data, it is inserting that data it immediately. In order to do this, we have to do any location that you want inside of it. Insert here. You can imagine that custom mobs with little changes are tedious because you can't make them come from scoreboards. So if we use /function m:damage, we can see that we can use with here. And now we can choose either block, entity, or storage. And so these are looking for MBT in block, entity, or storage, which has our key located in it. Obviously, there is no block that has a MBT of X or no entity that has an MBT of X. And so that's not going to work too great, but we can make a storage have an MBT of X. So to set this up, we're going to go data modify storage macro, and then let's go ahead and make this input. And then we're going to set this equal to X inputs. So we run it, it makes CloudWolf say hi. So you can see that this is a way to basically have a command run at any location that you want inside of your function. Next, we can take a look at inserting values. So inserting a value into a command like 5, 6, 10, whatever, is just the same as inserting anything, the command, in the sense that we are just going to create a macro called $x in the place of where you place the damage amount, and then when we call the damage function, we pass and tell it the key x is equal to 5.5. So then we're going to go into survival, and you can see that boom, I do get 5.5 damage applied. Next, we have inserting a string or inserting a JSON component, and so you are able to go into survival. The damage function we pass and tell it the key x is equal to 5.5. So then we're going to go into survival, and you can see that boom, I do get 5.5 damage applied. Next, we have inserting a string or inserting a JSON component, and so you are able to pass JSON components and strings. In this case, we have a macro called tellRaw, which just runs tellRaw at p with your tellRaw message string you want to insert here. You can imagine that this could be used for something like text and red. So this format is all this from scoreboards. So if we use /, and so can make a storage have an MBT of X, that we can use with here. And now we can choose either block, entity, or storage. And so these are looking for MBT in block, entity, or storage, which has our key located in it. Obviously, there is no block that has a MBT of X or no entity that has an MBT of X. And so that's not going to work too great, but we can make a storage have an MBT of X. So to set this up, we're going to go data modify storage macro, and then let's go ahead and make this input, and then we're going to set this equal to X with 8. And so once we set this value as a compound here, which
Does scoreboard. I doubt you can find a scoreboard value in here. Yeah, that's my Minecraft score. That's not anything crazy.
As you can see in the chat, I had an Erickson instead of this compound. That little thing that we had typed in before can now be the little thing that it reads for here. So we change this to input and do that, and it'll run the command. If I run that, it'll do 8 points of damage. So this will allow us to have some dynamic stuff. Now, if you wanted that number to come from a scoreboard, well, let me change this to 8 with an integer, right? And then we can do data, execute, store, result, storage.
There we go. That's what we need. One Piece. Oh, I'm dumb. Hold on.
The integer, right? And then we can do data, execute value on damage macro and put it on input.x with an integer and a scale.
Let's go. So if we copy that value, room ability. I guess we can just rename this to grow room. Ability. Okay. Grow room.
Scale of 1. And then if I do that, and then I go ahead and go into survival and run this again, you will see dynamic to grab stuff in places that you probably can't teleport them dynamically. So there to an unloaded $Y, $Z. And so now if I click this, I will go our look text and red. So this format to create a macro called $X in the place of where you place the damage amount. And then when we call the damage function, we pass and tell it 0.5. So then we're going to go is just the same as inserting, basically have a which our key is command and we put quotes around it, followed by a macro called use a $sign to. So the way that you use macros is you use a $sign to indicate this line contains a macro, and then you follow that with whatever you want. So we can do something like, but it has some.
Yeah, bet.
I'm able to type this as a user.
there. Oh. Feeling pretty good. Expected compound. The hell?
In the chat, but how do I make that 5.5 come from a scoreboard or something? Looking for MBT macro, and then let's go ahead and make this input, and then we're going to set this equal to x with 8. And so once we set this value as a compound here, which as you can see in the chat I had an error because I didn't set it as a compound, that little thing that we had typed in before can now be the little thing that it reads for here. So we change this to input and do that, and it'll run the command, and that compound here
Oh yeah. Okay, so now we just gotta do okay, we just gotta increase excuse me. Oh. Look at that. how it looks on the Bedrock client. Should probably rename this to set room size. Set room size. And then we name this to set size. Grow room. Let's just rename this to grow room, and then we'll have a shrink room. Shrink room. We rename grow room ability just to grow room. Shrink room. Ooh. Okay. Oh, we gotta get the shrink room running every second. It's not even gonna run. running every second, which is not good. Gotta find out why. Oh, okay. Duh. The conditional was removed. Yeah, we don't even run the shrink if you're at it. Okay. I think it was the So we're going to kill the entity. If it reaches a size of 0, not sure why that's there. I think we could summon this. I think like 4 blocks up. Interpolation duration definitely should be 20. Yeah, maybe we shouldn't do it 4 blocks up. Maybe 1 block up is fine. Let's see how this looks. That's not bad. That's pretty good. That's pretty damn good. So the set room size, we can remove these 2. And I'll have a gander on what it looks like. Oh my god. That's really funny. It's a giant stick, if you're wondering. It's really massive. That's not even that bad. I think it's solved. We just set all of these interpolation sizes to to 20, yeah, instead of 15. Oh, that's smooth as heck, bro. Let's... Is this the radius? Huh. All right. Every second. All right, let's... And it spawns a new one. I don't know why it floats upwards. Does it? Or am I tripping? Is that even what we're supposed to do? Is this moving? I mean, it's like kind of moving. It's not really... I think it's okay. Right. Yeah, what the heck? Oh, what the heck? So that's commented out anyway. There we go. We got that reach. Come on, bruh. Come on, bro. Quit playing with me. Got these Marines, bro. This is OP, brother. Yeah, low-key, just double up on this. And then... that makes sense, I guess. Why is this not changing? It's pretty broken. We need the raycast also. So we can teleport within this and swap places with entities. I think that's good progress for today. With the op fruit. I think the hard part is done. Definitely gonna take like 5-10 minutes to set up the abilities for the ray tracing. Yeah, everything's always harder than expected. Like it takes longer than expected. But that's pretty much the core of the op fruit, the room ability. So yeah, we're still got a lot of work to do, and I think I gotta call it a night because I'm getting tired.